Okay, so the discussion for this video is your Republic Act 6713. Your lecturer is Darlito Bernard De Rizzo. Republic Act 6113 is known as the act establishing a code of conduct and ethical standards for public officials and employees to uphold the time-honored principle of public office being a public trust, granting incentives and rewards for exemplary service, enumerating prohibited acts and transactions, and providing penalties for the violations thereof and for other purposes. So, if you are joining any government agency later on, whether you are in the uniform or non-uniform, whether you are in the military or in civilian agency, this is the first discussions that will be undertaken, particularly those joining the Tri-Bureau. More often than not, during the first day of the oath-taking or prior to the oath-taking, this Republic Act 6713 is discussed so that the incoming law enforcement officers will be informed on what are the things that they should watch out once they join the police service or the jail service or the fire service or any law enforcement service in the country. So what is the short title? Now, the short title is it is known as the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standard for Public Officials and Employees. So it includes all public officials and public employees. The basis of this law, of course, is the Constitution, where it says that it is the policy of the state to promote a high standard of ethics in public service. Public officials and employees shall at all times be accountable to the people and shall discharge their duties with utmost responsibility, integrity, competence, and loyalty, act with patriotism and justice, lead modest life, and uphold public interest over personal interest. In other words, this particular law is promulgated by our legislative branch of the government purposely for the government to ensure that those working in the government will be always reminded that their position in the government is something like uh, coming from the people, or uh, it is a public trust. No, in other words, they are working for the government because, or they are working for the people because the people is actually the reason why we have a government. Basically, that is the principle of a democratic country. That's why democracy is defined as a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So once you are in the government, you have to remember always that you serve the public, not your personal interests. In doing so, there must be a code or a law that will at least specify or state or mandate the things that you need to follow and things that you need to avoid while you are an employee of the government. So these are some of the, or these are the definition of terms. First thing first, you have the government. It includes the national government, the local government. So whether you're working in the national government, the branches of the government, the judiciary, the legislative, or the executive, or the local government units, or any other units of the government, including those government-owned or controlled corporations and their subsidiaries. What are these government-owned or controlled corporations? Of course, before we have the Philippine National Bank, we have the Philippine Airlines, but today they are already privatized, no? In fact, I do not know of any government agency today that is owned by the government. Okay, yan. Then moving on. Public officials. It includes elected and appointed officials and employees, permanent or temporary, whether in the career or non-career service, including military and police personnel, whether or not they receive compensation regardless of the amount. So who are these career or non-career? When you say career, these are the people, okay, or the employees of the government that enjoys the security of their tenure until they are going to retire or until they reach the compulsory retirement, unless of course they are removed from the office by whatever legal reasons, no? But say for example, no, sa tawag natin sa ating uh, executive branch of the government, assuming yung isang empleyado ay na-appoint na executive director or na-appoint siya na department secretary, yung pagiging department secretary niya ay non-career. In other words, yung kanyang tenure bilang department secretary ng government ay coterminous doon sa nag-appoint sa kanya na presidente. Whereas yung mga career, yan yung mga tinatawag natin na empleyado ng isang government agency na insured yung kanilang tenure hanggang sa sila'y mag-retire. Kaya merong isang undersecretary ng isang department sa government natin na siya ay inappoint na OIC na secretary. So, bakit ayaw niya na maging department secretary or bakit meron siyang hesitation? Because once na tinanggap niya yung pagiging full-time na department secretary ay magiging non-career na siya. In other words, kahit wala pa siyang 65, kapag natanggal na siya bilang department secretary, ay tanggal na rin siya sa government. So, yung ibig sabihin ng mga non-career service personnel or officials of the government. Yung career, yan yung mga tinatawag natin na tenured sila hanggang sila'y mag-retire. Kaya yung iba, ayaw nila na ma-appoint ng mga presidente ng mga career position, mataas man yung kanilang position, ang mangyayari niyan ay sila ay mawawala rin sa serbisyo kahit hindi pa sila na-reach yung kanilang retirement. Okay? Including military and police personnel, if ever there is. No? Remember class, no, there was a chief PNP na suspended. Wala pa siyang 56 years old, na-suspend siya. Tapos yung kanyang deputy for admin ay na-appoint bilang OIC. So, hindi na-promote ng 4-star general yung OIC kasi ang mandate ng ating NAPOLCOM or ang mandate ng ating PNP ay there should only be one 4-star general in the Philippine National Police. And that time ay hindi pa naman natatanggal yung chief PNP. So under naka-floating siya, or I could not remember whether suspended siya. Okay? At hindi pwedeng tawag natin tanggalin sa serbisyo kasi wala pa siyang 56. Hindi pa na-resolve yung kaso, so wala pa siyang 56. Still active pa rin siya na considered na officer or official ng PNP. Kaya yung Deputy Chief PNP ay never na promote ng Chief PNP that time hanggang nag-retire kasi inunahan pa niya yung Chief PNP na nag-retire. So yun ang mga maging problema diyan kapag ikaw ay non-career, no? Pwede kang matanggal sa government kahit wala pang retirement. Samantalang yung mga career officials, they are insured hanggang sila ay ma-reach nila yung kanilang mandatory retirement. What about those receiving compensation regardless of what? Meron ba? Yes, meron. So for example, yung mga presidential advisors, sometimes ina-appoint ang mga yan na walang compensation. Minsan naka-stipulate lang, piso yung kanilang compensation. Ba't sila pumapayag? Of course, papayag mga yan kasi yung prestige na ikaw ay isang presidential advisor. No? Hindi man immediate yung benefits, maaring may mga indirect benefits ng pagiging presidential advisor. Though walang sweldo yung tao na advisor ng presidente, maraming pribilehyo yan. No? Yung prestige mismo at yung pribilehyo na siyempre pag na-identify yan na ito ay advisor ni presidente, magiging isang very important personality yan kapag may mga gathering. Okay? Maaring meron o walang monetary benefits but may mga pribilehyo yan, no? May mga benefits yan. So for example, next election kapag siya tumakbo na senador, tumakbo na congressman, So magagamit niya yung kanyang background na presidential advisor para maging market niya or advertisement niya na magiging or mananalo sa election. Okay? So may mga taong ganoon, may mga na-appoint sa government na walang compensation. So moving on, what is a gift? Remember in your one of the things that a government employee should avoid is the acceptance of gift. Okay? So that is punishable by Presidential Decree number 46. So what is a gift? A gift is anything, anumang bagay. Maaring pera, maaring material things, commodities, or a right that is disposed of gratuitously. Ano yung right? So for example, merong isang high-end club or country club, no, kung saan multi-millionaires lang ang member doon. Ngayon, yung isang millionaire ay dahil mayroong isang government official, sabihin natin barangay captain na assuming may nagawang favor sa kanya, so sabi niya, sige, barangay captain, gamitin mo muna yung one month na aking privilege, mga right and privileges ko sa country club na libre, no? Yun ang regalo ko sa iyo dahil sa pabor na binigay mo sa akin. So yun ang idea noon, no? Dispose of gratuitously bilang pasasalamat or any act of liberality or any act of liberality. Anong ibig sabihin noon? Ibinigay, niregalo, hindi bilang pasasalamat, kundi binigay because siya ay talagang mapagbigay or maluwag. Ang ibig sabihin noon. And of course, this gift is in favor of another who accepts it and shall include simulated sale. Pag sinabing simulated sale, kunyari pinagbili kahit hindi. Assuming ako yung mayaman, ano? Mayaman ako at si barangay captain, no? Sabihin ko kay barangay captain, no, kapitan, thank you sa pag-protect mo sa aking business. Okay? Thank you at ako'y nakakuha ng aking business permit dahil sa'yo. Now, ito yung aking inmax. Yan, bibigay ko sa'yo. Ngayon, para hindi alatado na binigyan kita, ang gawin natin, kunyari, bininta ko sa'yo. Magpirmahan tayo ng deed of sale, pero wala kang babayaran. Yan, para kunyari lang binayaran mo, pero ang totoo ay binigay ko sa'yo. So, yun ang simulated sale. Or, an ostensibly onerous disposition. Ibig sabihin, kapag nakakapagtaka, no? Kahinahinala, bakit ka binigyan ng ganyan na isang gift, no? Parang meron akong kilala noon, no, na sabi niya sa akin, pare, ako'y nagtatrabaho kay ganito. Sabi niya, anong trabaho mo sa kanya? Sabi ko, well, ang trabaho ko sa kanya, errand ako, taga-deliver ng sulat, sabi niya. Tapos, may ganda naman yung motor mo, bagong-bagong TMX, sabi ko. Binigay din niya sa akin to, di ba? So, ako'y nagulat, sabi ko, ano bang trabaho mo? Errand ka lang, taga-deliver ka lang ng sulat. Ngayon, binigyan ka ng TMX 155. Sabi ko, nakapagtataka yan, na bakit ka binigyan ng ganyan? So, yun ang mga tawag natin example ng ostensibly onerous disposition. Nakapagtataka, bakit ka binigyan, ano? Okay, so magtaka ka na, baka merong mga strings attached or may mga illegal na condition, okay? It shall not include an unsolicited gift, yung mga hindi mo hiningi na nominal lang ang value or insignificant ang value. O binigyan ka ng sinilas, binigyan ka ng t-shirt, walang kanyon, walang ka-value-value nun, okay? And of course, hindi kasama if they are not given in anticipation of or in exchange for a favor, okay? Yan, from a public official or employee. So, walang kapalit. No? Binigay ka, walang kapalit, so hindi siya included. In other words, if you are a government employee, whatever position you are in the government, whether you are the lowest mammal in the government or the highest, as long as you receive this kind of things, okay? Anything, no? A thing or a right or whatsoever, and it is given to you in anticipation of a favor, no? Then, pwede kang kasuhan ng graft later on, okay? Or whatever necessary or appropriate case to be filed against you later on. But of course, first thing first, pwede kang kasuhan under PD 46. Moving on. Yan, so receiving any gift includes now the act of accepting directly or indirectly a gift from a person other than a member of his family or relative as defined in this Act, Republic Act 6713, even on the occasion of a family celebration or national festivity like Christmas, if the value of the gift is neither nominal, meaning hindi siya nominal, malaking amount, binigyan ka ng isang kotse, di ba? Or hindi siya insignificant, no? Masyadong malaki yung value. Or the gift is given in anticipation of or in exchange for a favor. So kahit Christmas binigay yan, kahit New Year binigay yan, kahit birthday binigay yan, as long as nung binigay yan ay merong ina-anticipate na favor na ibibigay or mayroon ng favor na bigay kaya ka binigyan, well, practically it will constitute a violation, okay, of the concerned public official. What about the loan? It covers both simple loan and comodatum. So pwede ka mag-loan ng kotse, commodity, mag-loan ng bahay, mag-loan ng motorsiklo, okay, or pera, as well as guarantees, financing arrangement, or accommodations intended to ensure its approval. Okay? So, ano yan? Bakit kaya pumapasok yan? Kasi minsan, itong mga bagay na ito yung nagiging instrument of corruption. Naging instrument of graft and corrupt practices sa government. Okay? That's why, if you will become a law enforcement or you will become a government employee, be careful of these things, no? Particularly kapag ikaw ay member ng bidding committee. Ganyan, no? Medyo delikado yan. Kasi baka mamaya, kunyari, papalabasin nyo na may loan, parang ganyan. Minsan, dinadaan na lang sa mga ganitong bagay yung mga instrument or means of corrupting a public official. Then, substantial stockholder. It means any person who owns directly or indirectly shares of stock sufficient to elect a director or corporation. So you have there now the word sufficient, no? Sufficient to elect a director of a corporation. Diba? Ano 'yon? Ganito 'yan, ha. There are corporations, particularly yung mga tinatawag natin mga profit organizations. Now, the profit organizations, they have the major stockholders. Sila yung mga namuhunan, sila mga investors, sila mga nagsimula dyan. So, basically, if that is a profit organization, sila rin yung mayroong right doon sa profit or any gain of operation of that. Okay? So, ngayon, sila din yung mga policy makers, sila yung mga major decision makers, sila din yung mga natawag natin may mga voting capacity or may mga voting rights sila doon sa corporation na yan. Eh, meron bang insubstantial stockholder? Meron. Yung mga, say for example, yung company na yan ay gusto niyang mag-acquire ng additional capital at wala silang capital, pwede silang magbenta sa mga taong bayan ng mga shares, okay? At may limit yung shares na bibilhin. So magiging co-owner sila pero kunti lang yung kanilang ownership, depende lang sa kanilang nabili. And normally, sila ay mga tinatawag natin wala silang voting power or wala silang shall we say they do not have a part in the decision making of that corporation. So, yun ang idea nun. Ngayon, sa isang government employee, pinagbabawal na ikaw ay tinatawag natin maging substantial. Okay, so you have the family of public officials or employees. Their spouses and unmarried children under 18 years of age are considered as the families of a public official or employee. So you might be wondering bakit kaya nasama to? Well, basically class, in government service, nepotism is not allowed. Or shall we say the giving of favor to the family members as well as relatives and friends of a government official in the appointing of sensitive positions in the government or in the appointing of any position in the government. I think, of course, what are the persons here? The persons pertain to the natural and juridical persons unless the context indicates otherwise. Meaning, when you speak of juridical persons, these are the entities that are shall we say, organized under the laws of the land. So, pwedeng corporations, pwedeng companies, pwedeng institutions, like that. Okay? So, lahat yan ay in-specify dyan kasi ang mga ito pwedeng magiging link ng tinatawag nating graft and corrupt practices or unethical practices of any government or public official. Okay, so divestment. When you say divestment, say for example you are a stockholder of a company. Once you are already appointed and that in a government and that company, your position in the company obviously uh, obviously promotes conflict of interest, you have to divest. Meaning, kailangan mong ibenta, kailangan mong i-dispose. Okay? You're going to transfer, okay, the title or the disposal of interest in property by voluntarily, completely and actually depriving or disposing oneself of his right or title to it in favor of a person or persons other than his spouse and relatives as defined in this act. Say, for example, kapag mayroong isang empleyado ng yung university, okay? University of the Cordilleras in particular, say for example, and naging empleyado siya ng CHED, naging official siya ng CHED, ng Commission on Higher Education. So magkakaroon ng conflict of interest kapag hindi niya iwan yung kanyang interest or yung kanyang share sa university kung siya man ay stockholder doon. Okay? Kailangan i-divest niya, kailangan i-dispose niya yon. Okay? Otherwise, if he will continue to cling on that, while he is appointed or working in the Commission on Higher Education, pwedeng magiging tinatawag nating cause ng graft and corruption. Relatives, referring to any and all persons related to public officials or employee within the fourth civil degree of consanguinity or affinity. So, mga pinsan or mga bayaw, mga bilas, mga balai. So, yun. Again, they can be part of the relatives or magiging tinatawag natin part sila ng mga prohibition ng isang government employee or government official in his dealings with the public or in his dealings in any businesses outside his work as a public official. So what are the norms of or conduct of public officials employees? Well, every public official employee shall observe the following as standards of personal conduct. Kasi personal conduct, ito yung gawain mo. Paano ka kumilos, paano ka gumalaw, paano ka magsalita, okay? In the discharge and execution of your official duties sa mga trabaho mo bilang public official. First thing first is your commitment to public interest. It says there that public officials and employees shall always uphold the public interest over above personal interest. Meaning, lahat ng gagawin mo para sa interest ng publiko, hindi para sa sarili mo. Huwag mong gamitin yung sasakyan ng gobyerno para sa pangsarili mo. Dapat pangsarili ng publiko. Okay? Kung may conflict, whether you are going to do things for your relatives or your family members, okay, you have to prioritize yung concern ng komunidad or ng public. Okay? All government resources and powers of the respective offices must be employed and used efficiently, effectively, honestly, and economically, particularly to avoid wastage in the public funds and revenues. Because ang mga yun ay pagmamayari ng public. Kailangan gamitin mo ng maayos. Kapag sinira mo mga yan, nagkaroon ng wastage, okay, you are now, shall we say, compromising the interests of the public whom you are supposed to serve. Professionalism, from the word professional, okay, that you are going to perform your duties or discharge your duties with the highest degree of excellence. Siguraduhin mo na kaya mo, you are competent. Siguraduhin mo na you are skilled in doing that. Hindi pinagprapraktisan ang trabaho sa gobyerno. That's why ang kinukuha sa gobyerno, yung mga highly skilled, yung mga tawag natin they can perform professionally their work. And of course, with intelligence and skill. So they shall enter public service with utmost devotion and dedication to duty. Meaning, papasok ka para magtrabaho, hindi ka papasok para gawin mo yung mga pagnanais mo lamang. Okay? Para hindi magkaroon ng wrong perception. Okay? Na ikaw ay peddlers. Okay? Ng tinatawag nating undue patronage. Okay, then you have the justness and sincerity. Okay, you shall remain true to the people at all times. At all times, okay, because they are your boss. They must act with justness and sincerity and shall not discriminate against anyone, meaning walang partiality. Okay, yan man ay tinatawag natin party member mo, kapatiran mo, kafrat mo, dapat hindi yun ang basihan. So everybody shall be treated equally. Everybody shall be attended, kay their needs shall be attended equally. And you must be sincere in doing. Okay? Kapag may mga underprivileged, dapat binagbibigyan mo pa sila ng pansin. Hindi yung mas inuuna mo yung mga overprivileged na mga tao. Okay? Just like when I was younger. No? When I was young, one thing I learned is I'll go to the government offices na kailangan magsuot ako ng maganda. Kasi kapag ang suot ko ay hindi maganda, ang suot ko ay hindi pang professional, parang minsan di ako pinapansin, lalo di naman ako mukhang professional, di ba? So one thing I learned before, kailangan ko magsuot na maayos para pag pumunta ako dun sa mga government office, inasikaso ko, which should not be, no? Regardless kung anong suot mo, regardless kung anong itsura mo, mukhang professional ka, mukhang mayaman o hindi, kailangan sincere and just yung isang government official na manilbihan. Okay? So they have to act or they shall at all times respect, no, the rights of others also. Okay? And they must refrain from doing anything that is contrary to law and good morals, okay, or against good customs, public policy, public order, and public safety. Okay? So moving on, class. Okay, you have now what you call the political neutrality. Okay, so political neutrality, class. Government employees shall be apolitical. Okay, they shall be apolitical, meaning they shall not be patronizing any political organization or political figure. Okay? So, in other words, if you are in the government, although you are appointed by the mayor or by the governor, do not be obvious. Of course, silently you will be supporting the mayor who appointed you or the governor. But do not be obvious. Do not post it sa mga Facebook. Di ba? Do not post it anywhere else na ikaw ay nangangampanya. Bawal na bawal yan. Di ba? Okay, so apolitical or non-solicitation of political patronage, even in the promotion and employment or deployment. Well, again, these are easier said than done, no? And they are too good to be true. So moving on, your responsiveness to the public. Okay, you are going to act promptly, dagli-daglian, ano? Hindi yung pwedeng wait or mamaya na. Unless you are doing more important matters, okay, you have to immediately respond to the public. Hindi yung pinaghihintay. That's why one of the mottos of the Civil Service Commission is mamamayan muna, hindi mamamaya na. Okay? Unless otherwise provided by law, or when required by the public interest, okay, public officials, employees shall provide information of their policies and procedures in clear and understandable language, ensuring openness of information, public consultations, and hearings whenever appropriate. What does it mean by that, class? Okay? Basta hindi nako-compromise ang public safety. Kung kinakailangan, sabihin mo na sa kanila, ito yung dapat nyong gawin, ito yung step by step mong gagawin. Hindi yung pag pumunta ka sa office, you are left hanging kung anong susunod. Kailangan i-guide ka ng mga government employee. Kung di kanila masabing personal, at least mayroong mga information on how to transact your business. Okay? At least the government employee concerned will become responsive on the needs of the public. What about nationalism and patriotism? So again, when you speak of nationalism is when you love anything about the people. Okay, nasyo means the people, the natives. So, if you love the culture, if you love the foods, if you love the values, the traits, okay, the music of the people, then you are a nationalist. So, something like if you're a government official, hindi ikaw yung promoter ng mga government products. Ikaw dapat ang promoter ng mga local products. Okay, you have to love your own. That is an act of nationalism. Patriotism is more on, shall we say, obedience to your country, more on uh, serving the country, more on, shall we say, more on protecting the interests of the country, more on protecting your government, okay, more on obeying and loving your government. So, moving on, what about commitment to democracy? Well, democracy basically is a government of the people, from the people, and for the people. From the definition alone, okay, uh, the every public official employee shall commit themselves to the democratic way of life and values, maintaining the principle of public accountability because the government is of the people, coming from the people, by the people. It is the people who created the government, and it is created for them. Okay? That's why if you are working in the government, you are not working for yourself, but you are working for the people. Okay? So everything that you do shall be for the people. Okay? And of course, in the commitment to democracy, okay, the civilian authority is superior over the military, and they shall uphold at all times, okay, the constitution and put loyalty to the country above loyalty to persons or party, no? Hindi yung for example, yung former president natin nagtawag ng ihiwalay natin ang isang lugar ng bansa. So yung mga dating tao niya na tinatawag nating na-appoint sa bagong gobyerno, wala silang magawa kundi to follow yung present government kung saan sila nagtatrabaho, hindi na yung kanilang former boss. Kasi yun ang isang tinatawag nating public official. You are working for the people, you are working for the government. Okay? So, simple living. Ayan. So, public officials and employees and their families shall lead modest lives appropriate to their positions and income. Yeah. Nagsasahod ka ng kano lang sahod mo, tapos ang buhay mo, times 2, times 3 sa expenses mo. Magtataka yung mga tao. Diba? So, there will be suspicion. Baka ikaw ay nagkukurap, no? Baka ikaw ay gumagamit ng pera ng taong bayan. Okay? So, you shall not indulge in extravagant or ostentatious display of wealth in any form. Diba? Na lalong-lalo, hindi naman umaakma sa iyong kita. So, well, of course, on the sideline, graft and corruption is happening because many people, no, not only in the government, even in private employment, okay, they embezzle public funds or embezzle private funds because they could not support the extravagant life, no? Kailangan yan, we live according to what we receive. We live according to what we earn. Okay? Okay, further, under the norms of conduct of public officials and employees, the Civil Service Commission shall adopt positive measures to promote one, observance of these standards, including the dissemination of information, programs, and workshop authorizing merit increases beyond regular progression steps to limited number of employees recognized by their office colleagues to be outstanding in their observance of ethical standards. Meaning, okay, to promote further, no, the practice of professional ethics, or to promote ethical standards in every government agency, the Civil Service Commission, no, they shall adopt positive measures, no? That is, may mga workshop, may mga seminars, at the same time may mga recognitions, may mga award, mga most outstanding employees, like that. And of course, there must be a continuing research and experimentations on measures which provide positive motivation to public officials. So, positive motivation. When you say positive, what are the things to be done so that the employees of the government will conduct themselves in accordance to what is required of them professionally, morally, and ethically. Now, on the duties of public officials, okay, first, they have to act promptly on letters and requests. So it was mentioned a while ago, the responsiveness to the public. So whenever a government agency receives a letter, okay, public officials and employees shall within 15 days from receipt thereof, they shall respond to the letter, whatever is the feedback, whether it is ongoing yung processing or whether wala pang progress, at least na-receive na nila, okay, assuring them that they have received the letters. One time, sumama ako sa uh, mga public officials natin, ano? Yan. So, ngayon, nagbisita sila sa isang police regional office. Tuwing pumunta kami, hindi pala na-disseminate yung letter na binigay a month before. Kaya yung deputy for the regional director, deputy for uh, operations, I suppose, kasi siya nandun, galit na galit, hinahanap niya. Sino naka-receive ng letter? Bakit di natin alam? Bakit hindi na-route ito? So kami naman na pumunta ron, walang problema, okay lang. Sabi naman kasama ko. Hindi sabi ng Deputy Regional Director for Operations, sabi niya, hindi pwede. It will be taken against us. Dapat yan, we are responsive, no? We have to act promptly on any letters or requests, whatever actions na gagawin namin. Kaysa ito na nabibigla kami na ito marating, no? So that's correct, no? Kailangan ma-actionan ka agad dyan within 15 days, okay? Whether through letters, telegrams, or other means, pwedeng sa email, no? Pwedeng sa social media, okay? It shall be acted upon by the government agency concerned or by the government personnel concerned within 15 days on whatever actions that they have taken. Submit annual reports, assuming you are the head of an office or an or a unit, okay, and you are required to submit annual report. Well, you have to do that within 40 days. Within 40 days from the end of the year. Okay, render a performance report of the agency or office or corporation concerned. Such report shall be open and available to the public with regular office hours. How is that? No? Kapag 45 days normally, abot ng 2 months yan. Kasi ang counting sa government is yung working days. No? In 1 week, 5 days yan. So kapag in 1 month, 20 days. Yan. So more or less, abot na mga 2 months yan, yung 45 days. Okay? More or less. No? So again, process documents and papers expeditiously. Pag sinabing expeditious, mabilisan. Diba? So pag may mga official papers and documents, they must be processed and completed within a reasonable time from the preparation thereof and must contain as far as practicable not more than 3 signatories. Ayan, 3 signatories. Para hindi maraming pipirma kasi the more ang pipirma, the more yung levels of corruption, diba? Or hindi lang yon, the more yung tagal kasi ang daming pipirma. And one of the reasons bakit daw yung mga multinational companies or the foreign investors are hesitant in investing in the country because of the tedious task of processing permit. Napakarami daw pipirma, ang tagal. Okay? Yun din ang reason ng mga mobile networks natin, mga providers natin. Okay? Na minsan daw nagpapamahal yung kanilang service kasi mahal at mahirap mag-process, magpatayo ng mga kanilang mga towers, no? Mga relay towers nila. Okay? So, sinasabi dito, kailangan you have to act promptly and expeditiously process the papers. Reasonable time. When you say reasonable, okay, ibig sabihin yan, kung saglit lang gawin, expectedly, saglit lang matapos yan. Di ba? So, yun ang idea nun. Tapos, hindi susubra sa 3 signatory. At kung wala yung signatory, kailangan mayroong naka-assign to sign for and in behalf of that person. So, for example, kukuha ka ng isang clearance mo sa isang government agency, dapat yan, meron nang naka-assign to sign for and in behalf kung wala yung authorized na signatory. Okay? Minsan sa private organizations, napapansin ko sa mga universities, kawawa yung mga estudyante. Kasi pag naglalakad sila mga papers nila, pag wala yung pipirma na official sa school, maraming mga schools na wala silang mga naka-assign na magpipirma for in behalf of the official of the school, which is unfair to their client, the students, as well as the parents na nag-travel ng malayo. So ganun din sa government, merong tinatawag natin, dapat merong naka-assign, pwedeng yung next in rank na official or sino pa yung nandun na naka-assign to sign for in behalf. I observe, no? Nung kumukuha pa ako ng clearance ko nung araw, pagpunta ko, kuha ng clearance, police clearance, hindi mismo si chief of police ang pumipirma. Minsan meron siyang nakalagay na lang doon, sign for, no? Or sign in for and by, like that. Okay? Then act immediately on public personal transaction. Ano yung mga personal transaction? Okay? Ito yung mga tinatawag nating mga outside the official na function na minsan may lalapit doon, tawag natin sa opisina, may mga gusto na mag-avail ng ganitong serbisyo nila o whatsoever. Okay? So again, just like any official functions of the office, all government employees are mandated to act promptly and expeditiously. Okay? Because again, you go back to the democratic principle of public service. Then make documents accessible to the public. Of course, ang prohibition lang yan if the document is confidential or if the document is top secret or it compromises public safety, hindi pwedeng ibigay. Otherwise, it should be accessible to the public provided authorized yung tao na kukuha. So all public documents must be made accessible to and readily available for inspection by the public within reasonable working hours. So working hours naman, hindi wag naman yung beyond working hours. Ikaw naman yung private individual, magtatansak sa business, pupunta ka ba naman ng beyond working hours, huwag ka na magalit, no? Kasi ang sabi ng batas natin, within reasonable working hours. Okay? So the system of incentives and rewards. Insofar as there are sanctions against violators, against erring public officials and employees, there shall also be a system of annual incentives and rewards. Okay? Ano yan? Pwedeng promotion, pwedeng monetarial, so whatever things. Basta yan yung mga positive motivation na tinatawag natin, hindi lang negative motivation. Okay? Na establish ng anumang government office as long as it is within the bounds of the law. So a committee on awards of outstanding public official employees is created, okay? With the ombudsman and chairman of the Civil Service Commission as co-chairman and the chairman of the audit and two government employees. So sila naghahanap ng most outstanding. Pwede rin yan sa tawag natin sa mga regional offices, as long as yung mga regional officers hindi sila nagbabiolate ng batas, no? Those are examples of shall we say positive motivation, so that people in the government will be motivated to enhance further, no, their services to the public. Although of course, according to 6713, the awards committee is already created by this law, consisting of the ombudsman, okay, and the civil service commissioner or the chairman of the CSC, as well as the chairman of the CA. So what are now the prohibited acts and transactions? Mga bawal. First, financial and material interest. Ano yan? Financial and material interest. Diba? Okay? Yan. Public officials and employees shall not directly or indirectly have any financial or material interest in any transaction requiring the approval of their office. So, conflict of interest yan. Ano? Ano yan? Nabanggit natin kanina. Assuming, isa akong tawag natin doktor ng Department of Health. Diba? Tapos, merong isang nagmamay-ari ng funeraria. O, di ba? Funeraria. Okay? Mga kaibigan ko may-ari noon. Di ba? Tapos ginawa akong investor. Hindi pa pwede. Kasi yung mga punerarya, normally kumukuha sila ng mga clearances nila sa Department of Health. Hindi pa pwede. Bawal yun. Financial and material interest. No? Okay? Outside employment and other activities related thereto. Okay? So, ano yung mga bawal? Okay? So, owning, controlling, managing, or accepting employment as officer, employee, consultant, counsel, broker, agent, trustee, or nominee in any private enterprise regulated and supervised or licensed by their office. Okay? Yan. And that is expressly allowed by law. So, ano yan? Okay, ganun yan, ha? Uh, sa for example, kanina, pinag-usapan natin yung financial and material interest. No? Okay. Kapag ikaw ay, assuming kanina yung example natin, taga-CHED. Yan. Dati siyang professor sa isang university. Okay? Papunta sa CHED, dapat wala na siyang financial and material interest sa university pinanggalingan. And that will continue ng 1 year. May 1 year moratorium. Kapag yan ay nag-resign na or nag-retire na sa CHED, mayroon siyang 1 year na prohibition. Hindi siya pwedeng bumalik sa mga schools na magturo ulit. No? Hindi pwede. Yan, okay? So, pag nasipalit na siya ng office. So, ganun din sa mga outside employment mo. Okay? Pag sa mga outside employment mo, ganun din. No? 1 year pa rin yan. Hindi ka pwede na makipag-link or mapasama sa mga other enterprises, no, regulated or licensed by your office. Diba? Hindi pwede. Okay. What else, class? Outside employment and other activities, paragraph 2. Engage in the private practice of their profession unless authorized by the Constitution or law, provided that such practice will not conflict or tend to conflict with their official functions. So, kung hindi nagko-conflict, pero pag nagko-conflict yan, kailangan yan, meron kang permit sa concerned authority. So, for example, kapag ikaw ay member ka ng PNP, gusto mong magturo sa isang university, okay, outside employment, kailangan kumuha ka ng tawag natin ng permit to practice your profession sa NAPOLCOM. Okay? Kung sa BGMP at saka sa BGMP and other agencies under the local government. So, pwede kang kumuha sa DILG mismo ng permit to practice profession. Otherwise, pwede kang kasuhan, no? Ng tinatawag natin ng graft. Okay? And of course, di ka rin pwedeng mag-recommend of any person to any position of private enterprise which has irregular or pending official transaction with their office. So, ako ay isang head ng agency. Tapos mayroong isang private company. Yan. Na yung private company na yan ay nagtatransact sa business ng government agency ko kung saan ako naka-assign. Hindi ako pwedeng mag-recommenda doon ng mga empleyado. Kasi kung yan bawal yan, no? Okay? May conflict of interest na yan. Siyempre, hindi makakahindi yung private enterprise. So, meron ng favor, meron ng strings attached. So, ang tendency nun, mapipirsa kang mag-a-approve kahit disapprove kasi meron kang nilapit sa kanila. No? So, bawal yan. Okay. Disclosure and or misuse of confidential information. Public officials, employees shall not use or divulge confidential or classified information officially known to them by reason of their office and not made available to the public. Okay? So, either to further their private interest or give undue advantage to anyone or to the prejudice of the public. So, paano yon? Ganito yon, okay? Kapag ikaw ay nagtatransact, may kaibigan ka nagtatransact, may mga bidding. Siyempre, confidential yung bidding. May oras ng pag-open ng bidding. Di ba? Nag-bidding kayo ng services. Hindi po pwedeng ibigay sa kaibigan mo o kakilala mo, no? Na ganito yung bidding amount nila. Kailangan ibaba mo. Hindi po pwede yun. Kasi that is now giving undue advantage to anyone. Di ba? Nagbibigay ka ng amount sa kanila or ng information para sila yung mananalo sa bidding. Hindi po pwede yun. Di ba? Okay? Of course, that will prejudice the public interest kasi instead na yung the best bidder ang manalo, the best provider ang manalo, wala na. Dahil nga ikaw as a government employee, okay, gumawa ka, nag-divulge ka ng information para manalo yung mga kakilala mo or mga kamag-anak mo. Okay? So, you have to be very careful on that if ever naging membro ka na or member ka ng government service natin. Solicitation or acceptance of gifts. Okay? Public officials, employees shall not solicit or accept directly or indirectly any gift, gratuity, favor, entertainment, loan, or anything of monetary. Take note the word loan. Or anything of monetary value from any person in the course of their official duties or in connection with any operation being regulated by or any transaction which may be affected by the functions of their office. So, yan. Okay? Nasa DPWH ka. Nasa DPWH ka, Department of Public Works and Highways. Tapos may mga engineering offices na nakikipag-transact sa DPWH, no? And you are receiving and you are soliciting gift from them. Hindi pwede. Okay? Kasi, tendency niyan, magkakaroon ng cloud of doubt sa mga transactions mo sa kanila kahit wala kang gawain. Okay? And of course, humans as we are, minsan hindi maiwasan yung tinatawag nating bayad ng utang na loob. Diba? Kasi nagre-regalo, minsan hindi natin namamalayan, binibigyan ng favor. Instead na objective na yung judgment, nagiging subjective na yung judgment natin or mga decision natin kapag tayo ay government employees. Okay? Yeah. Of course, I know a lot of people but I will not name names here, no? Na gumagawa ng ganyan. In fact, minsan sa aking buhay, naging guilty rin ako sa mga ganyang bagay as a private individual transacting with some friends in the government. I did things that are not right actually, no, in the past, no. So, statements and disclosure. Public officials, employees have an obligation to accomplish and submit declarations under oath of, and the public has the right to know their assets, liabilities, net worth, and financial and business interests, including those of their spouses and of unmarried children under the years of 18 years of age, living in their household. Yan. Yung SALN na tinatawag natin. Pag pumasok ka, so for example, you will be joining the Tri Bureau or the police in particular. Okay, bago mag-start yung training, sa appointment day, pipirma kayo ng SALN, Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Network. Lagay mo na lahat ng property na kapangalan sa'yo. Kasi every year yan nagsasubmit. Para makita nila, mamonitor nila, bakit katakataka, biglang nag-double, nag-triple yung assets mo. Okay? So yan ang magiging basihan nila whether you are doing the right thing, no, sa government o baka may mga anomalies, bakit biglang dumami ang properties mo, dumami ang assets mo. Okay? So during the first day or mostly, no, sa government, yan ang mga unang mga pinapa-fill up nila. Yung statement of assets, liabilities and liabilities network. Okay? The Statement of Assets and Liabilities and Financial Disclosure, all public official employees except those who serve in an honorary capacity, laborers and casual or temporary workers. So laborers and casual, ito yung mga contractual, no? Hindi sila need na magbigay ng SALN. Pero yung mga kahit yung mga honorary capacity, di ba? Honorary capacity. Assume, no? For some years, naging member ako ng Regional Quality Assessment Team ng Commission on Higher Education, no, sa Region 1. Well, I work there as in honorary capacity, meaning kami yung tinatap ng CHED na mag-inspect sa mga schools, okay, mga universities and colleges, applying for permit, applying for inspection, kami yon. So we are paid per dime, no? Kasi yung binibigay sa amin, mga pamalit lang ng pagod, transportation, like that. So when we are doing those things, we are considered to be honorary public officials. We are doing the work of the government but in honorary capacity. In honorary kasi the presumption was members of the Regional Quality Assessment Team are presumed to be expert in the field, are presumed to be competent to do the job. So in honor to them, they are top as that, no? So sila, kami na member ng ARQUAT noon, hindi kami pwede or hindi kami dapat na mag-submit ng SALN. So anyone, no, working the government in honorary capacity, hindi necessary yun. Okay? Yan. Yung mga, kung lang dyan, yung mga career and non-career officials. Yan. Okay, mga elected and appointed officials. All public officials, employees required under this section to file the aforestated documents, meaning the SALN, including the financial statements, shall also execute within 30 days from the date of their assumption of office. So pag na-appoint ka this day, nag-take ka ng oath o office mo, within 30 days thereafter, kailangan makasubmit ka na ng SALN mo sa proper authority, okay? Kung saan dapat magpa-file ng iyong SALN, okay? Ayan. So, the necessary authority in favor of the Ombudsman to obtain from all appropriate government agencies, including the BIR, such documents as may show their assets, liabilities, network, and also their business interests and financial connections in previous years, including, if possible, the year when they first assumed any office in the government. That is to remove any cloud of graft and corruption. The husband and wife who are both public official employees may file the SALN, okay, or the statement jointly or separately. Yan. So again, transparency ang pinapakita rito para hindi ka paghinalaan na pinagkakapirahan mo yung employment mo sa government. The statement of assets, liabilities, and network and the disclosure of business interests and financial connections shall be filed by the constitutional and national elected officials within the national office of the Ombudsman. Kapag mga yung mga constitutional officers natin, yung mga sa Commission on Commission on Human Rights, like that, yung mga commissions natin na nandun sa Constitution. Okay, mga na-create doon. Okay, national elected officials, the President, the senators, okay, sa national office ng Ombudsman. Yung mga, of course, senators and congressmen with the secretaries of the Senate and the House of Representatives, respectively, justices with the clerk of court of the Supreme Court, judges, no? With the court administrators, all national officials with the office of the president. Okay, so I'm sorry, no? Yung senators and congressmen dun sa office of the president magpa-file ng SALN. Okay. Moving on, regional and local officials and employees. Okay, pag regional and local official ka, yan, ng isang executive branch of the government or legislative branch of the government, dun sa deputy ombudsman, dun sa respective region. Kung ikaw ay taga region 1, region 2, of course sa region mo. Okay? Officers of the armed forces from the rank of colonel up to the or naval captain, no? The navy captain, that is colonel, yan, up to with the office of the president, okay? Yan. And those below said ranks, okay? So ibig sabihin yan, from colonel to general. Mga lower na dyan, dun na sa mga deputy ombudsman in the respective region. So for example, ikaw ay lieutenant colonel, kung saan ka naka-assign na region, doon ka kukuha sa deputy ombudsman or doon ka magpa-file ng iyong SALN. All other public official employees defined in this act and defined in Act number 319 as amended doon sa Civil Service Commission na. Ano mga yun? Siguro mga teachers, mga yan, no? Whatever, no? Mga nasa government employment natin. Identification and disclosure of relatives. It shall be the duty of every public official or employee to identify and disclose to the best of his knowledge and information his relatives in the government in the form, manner, and frequency prescribed by the Civil Service Commission. So, for example, mayroon ka bang mga kamag-anak sa gobyerno? Diba? Ano mga kamag-anak ka dyan, kapamilya mo dyan. So, ilagay mo yun. Okay? So lahat 'yan tinitingnan para makita nila yung kung kailan ka dapat mag-inhibit, no? Kasi baka mamaya government to government may mga favor diyan. Okay? Mamaya ay nagiging means of corruption 'yan or naging means of corrupt practices 'yan. Okay? Accessibility of documents. Any and all statements filed under this act shall be made available for inspection at reasonable hours. Such statements shall be made available for copying or reproducing after 10 working days from the time they are filed, okay, as required by law. So yon. So yung mga SALN na yan, they should be accessible, no? Any person requesting a copy of a statement shall be required to pay a reasonable fee to cover the cost of reproduction and mailing of such a statement, as well as the cost of certification. Any statement filed under this act shall be available to the public for a period of 10 years after receipt of the statement. After such, okay, na statement, okay, may be destroyed unless needed, okay, in any investigation. So after 10 years, i-dispose na yan. Pero dapat yan, available pa rin yan kasi just in case magkaroon ng mga investigations, mga backtrack investigations, at least may record ang government natin ng mga financial statements or mga SALN ng mga government officials natin. What are the prohibited acts in relation to the SALN? It shall be unlawful for any person to obtain or use any statement filed under this act, okay, for any purpose contrary to morals or public policy. Ano yon? Kumuha ka ng mga SALN, tapos ginagamit mo siya for purposes of, shall we say, contrary to whatever policy of the government. No? Yan. So, ginamit mo siya para panira, ginamit mo siya para pampolitika, hindi pa pwede. Any commercial purpose other than by news and communication media for the dissemination to the public. Meaning, ibibenta mo, mga nakuha mong dokumento, hindi pa pwede. Okay? Divestment. A public official or employee shall avoid conflicts of interest at all times. When a conflict of interest arises, he shall resign from his position in any private business enterprise within 30 days from his assumption of the office and or divest himself of his shareholdings or interest within 60 days from such assumption. So, pag ikaw galing sa private company, okay, isa kang stockholder or may-ari ng company na yan, kailangan ibenta mo yung company or ibenta mo yung part mo doon or yung share mo doon sa company na yan. And that is within 30 days ng assumption mo ng office. Okay? Sa mga shareholdings mo naman, at yung mga interest niyan, kailangan ma-divest mo siya within 60 days. The same rule shall apply where the public official employee is a partner in a partnership. The requirement of divestment shall not apply to those who are serving, okay, in the government in an honorary capacity. Yun, honorary capacity lang. Hindi ka naman talagang implied ng gobyerno. You are just invited from time to time to do some sort of work in the government, okay? Yan. Or ikaw ay laborer lang or contractual or casual worker, you are not. You're not required by law to do that. Okay, walang conflict of interest, in other words. Okay. The designated committee of both houses of the Congress, the upper and the lower house, or the House of Representatives and the Senate, shall establish procedures for the review of statements to determine whether said statements which have been submitted on time are complete and are in proper form. In the event a determination is made that the statement is not so filed, the appropriate committee shall so inform the reporting individual and direct him to take necessary actions, okay? Yan, para i-correct, no? Correcting actions, no? I-correct yung mga kung may mali sa mga sinubmit na mga statements. In order to carry out the responsibilities under this act, the designated committee of both houses of Congress shall have the power within the respective jurisdictions to render any opinion interpreting this act in writing to persons covered by this act, subject in each instance to the approval by the affirmative vote of the majority of the particular house concerned. So, in case lang, may mga interpretation dito sa batas na ito. Okay, so pwede yung committee ng houses to, of course, to interpret this act or this any provision of this law. Okay, of course, with the approval of the majority or the affirmative vote of the majority. When you say majority, that is 50% plus 1 ng majority natin. Kung 240 yung kongresista natin, kalahati niyan, 120, 121. Kung 24 yung senador natin, 12 plus 1, 13 ang mag-approve kung anumang changes of the implementation of policy by virtue of their rendered opinion on this Republic Act. The heads of other offices shall perform the duties stated in subsections A and B hereof insofar as the respective offices are concerned, subject to the approval of the Secretary of Justice in the case of the Executive Department and the Chief of Justice of the Supreme Court, and in the case of the Judicial Department. So, doon sa tribunal natin, or sa legislative branches natin, sa executive branches natin, okay? So, it will be the head of offices, no? Sila yung tinatawag natin mag-examine, magre-review sa mga disclosures, sa mga statements na binibigay ng mga tawag natin government officials and employees or mas sinasubmit nila. What are the penalties? Any public official or employee, regardless of whether or not he holds office or employment in a casual, temporary, holdover, permanent. No? Holdover, pag sabing holdover, ganito. Okay? Those employees or those public officials, okay, particularly those appointed by the president, okay, appointed by the previous president, by the former president, whose appointment, okay, is extended by the present president or the administration. Say for example, assuming the PIDEA Director General, okay? So kapag inextend ng bagong presidente yung kanyang appointment, ang tawag sa kanya holdover. Holdover capacity yung kanyang employment. So kasama sila. Okay? Yan. So kasama sila doon sa may penalty kapag hindi sumunod sa mga SALN. So or any violation of 6713. They shall be punished with a fine not exceeding the equivalent of 6 months salary. Diba? Yung kanilang fine or suspension not exceeding 1 year. Or removal depending on the gravity of the offense after due notice and hearing by the appropriate body or agency. If the violation is punishable by heavier penalty under another law, he shall be prosecuted under the latter statute. Meaning, kung yung ginawa mong kalokohan ay covered siya ng tawag natin ng RA 6713, pero mayroong another law na nagko-cover nito na mas mabigat ang penalty, i-apply yung law, yung batas na mas mabigat ang penalty. Kung mayroong ibang batas na, assuming revised penal code, di ba? Criminal case na yon, mas mabigat na. Or another special law na nagbibigay ng penalty of the same act but heavier yung penalty, yun ang may apply. Okay? If the violation is punishable by heavier penalty under another law, he shall be prosecuted under the latter or the latter statute or law. Violations of section 7, 8, or 9 of this act shall be punishable within, okay, yan, not exceeding 5 years, no? Yan. Or a fine not exceeding, okay, so within, we call it within, no, the penalties, no, not exceeding 5 years, or fine not exceeding 5,000 pesos or both, and in the discretion of the court of competent jurisdiction. Okay, if the penalty is disqualification to hold the public office. And so, moving on. Any violation hereof proven in a proper administrative proceeding shall be sufficient cause for removal, assuming sa NAPOLCOM in cases of PNP personnel, sa DILG, or sa Civil Service Commission, okay, whatever, no? Yan. Okay? This shall be sufficient now for cause for removal or dismissal of public office, even if there is no criminal prosecution. Kahit walang criminal prosecution, di sila tinuluyan sa criminal court, okay lang yon. Kasi pag may violation na, okay, at they are already properly heard and tried, so nagkaroon ng removal or dismissal, kahit wala pang criminal case, pwedeng to follow yung criminal case. Diba? Okay. So hindi kayo na kailangan yung criminal case. So private individuals who participate in conspiracy or co-principal. So I'm a private person. I'm a private individual. Okay? Nakikikunay ako sa mga government employee to do illegal acts under Republic Act 713. Okay? As an accomplice or as a co-principal or accessory. Okay? Yan. I will be subject to the same penal liabilities as the public official and shall be tried jointly with them. I-integrate yung kaso. The official or employee concerned will bring an action against any person who obtains or uses a report for any purpose prohibited by Section 8D of this Act. So, any employee pwede mag-take ng action, no, tungkol sa mga financial disclosures natin. The court in which such action is brought may assess against such person the penalty in amount not more than 25,000 pesos. If another sanction is applied or under any other law severe, the latter shall apply. Kung ano yung mas mabigat, yun ang i-apply. So, hindi lamang ang government employees ang pwedeng ma-penalize under the Republic Act 6713, even those private individuals who conspired as co-principals, accomplices, or accessories to the illegal act of or unethical act of a government official. The promulgation of rules and regulations, administration and enforcement of this act, the Civil Service Commission shall have the primary responsibility for the administration and enforcement of this act. So, ibig sabihin yan, pag may mga kaso under this Republic Act, ang pinaka-primary na agency na mag-handle niyan ay yung Civil Service Commission. It shall transmit all cases for prosecution arising from violation of this act to the proper authorities for appropriate action. Okay, so doon muna ang punta muna sa Civil Service Commission. Tapos titignan nila, meron pa bang proper, mas mataas, or meron pa bang iba na pupuntahan. So sila ang magbibigay noon. Okay? Kung hindi silang mag-hearing doon, pwedeng ilipat sa iba, ilipat sa proper authorities kung ano yung sinasaad ng batas. Provided, however, that it may institute such administrative actions and disciplinary measures as may be warranted in accordance with law. Nothing in this provision shall be construed as a deprivation of the right of its houses of Congress to discipline its members. Meaning, may mga violation din na nakakommit dun sa Congress, no, sa Senado, saka tawag natin sa House of Representatives. Meron din silang mga sariling ethical standard doon. So pwede naman sila doon, no? Kung hindi nakarating sa civil service, pwedeng sila ang magdidisiplin doon sa kanila. Pwedeng sila ang magsasanksyon sa mga empleyado at saka members nila doon, no? Doon sa mga members ng Congress saka Senado. Yan. Okay, nothing in this act shall be construed to derogate from any law or any regulation prescribed by any body or agency which provides for more stringent. Meaning, itong 6713, hindi niya isusupersede yung anumang batas, ibang batas na mas mabigat ang penalty, mas stringent yung kanyang standard. Hindi tinatawag natin, hindi isusupersede ng 6713. Okay? So, pwedeng yung sa 6713, pwedeng for the dismissal, suspension lang. Pero kung mayroon pang mga other laws na mas mataas ang penalty, okay, for a similar act under 6713, this 6713 will not supersede those statutes or laws. Appropriations. Of course, in all laws that we have, importante lagi na ang government natin mag-appropriate ng pera for the implementation of that particular law. Same thing with the Republic Act 6713. Kapag gumawa ng batas yan, kailangan may appropriations, merong pondo para diyan. So, dapat maglaan ang government para ma-implement ang anumang batas, hindi lamang yung 6713. Separability clause. If any provision of this act or the application of such provision to any person or circumstance is declared invalid, okay, mayroong porsyon na questionan at invalid, okay, what will happen? The other provisions of this Republic Act 6713 or the application of those provisions to other persons or circumstances shall not be affected. Hindi maapektuhan yung iba na provisions dito. Okay, yun lamang provisions na invalid, okay, sa isang particular person. Baka pwede naman siyang applicable sa ibang person. Okay? So hindi siya ma-invalid. Yun yung ma-invalid na provision or yung application nito, yun lang ang ma-invalid, but not the entire or the remaining provisions of the Republic Act 6713. All laws, decrees, and orders or parts thereof inconsistent herewith are deemed repealed or modified accordingly unless the same provide for a heavier penalty. So kung merong mga batas na kumukontra, inconsistent with 6713, they are considered to be repealed or modified. Kailangan i-apply na 6713. However, kung yung batas na yan ay mas mataas yung penalty niya, you follow the law having a heavier penalty for the administration of justice or for the prosecution or for the filing of cases against erring public officials and employees. Well, the effectivity, outright naman yan. Laging lahat ng batas, bago take effect yan, kailangan nakapublish sa official gazette at saka sa mga national newspapers. Okay? So again, if you're wanting to join the government, okay, you have to consider that you are governed by the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Government Employees. So you have to be very careful na hindi ka makapag-violate yan kasi sayang, pwede kang ma-dismiss, pwedeng ma-forfeit yung retirement benefits mo and others. Hindi lang yon. Sabi ko nga, it will not be a good report sa kapamilya mo kapag ikaw ay nakasuhan ng mga ganyan against the ethical standards of any government employee. Okay, so thank you for listening and God bless you all.